Okay, hi, assalamualaikum, and good evening.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Izwan, for having us. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Okay, before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Faris Nazmi bin Rahimi,
Faris.
and I'm from UDKL Business School. I here today as part of our assessment, which is for subject of innovation management, and we are conducting interview to understand how your company manage innovation. So let's jump into our first question. Okay, Mr. Izwan, can you briefly describe what AKA Balloon does and your role in the company?
So we've been around since 1994. Kita orang mainly buat hot air balloons here. We specialize in hot air balloons, so that's what we're doing lah. So AK Balloons, we are the first hot air balloon company in Malaysia. What we do is tethered balloon rides. Tethered is, as you can see, the terikat. So terikat is tethered to the ground lah. So our main business is B2B to big clients, and then we do a 3-hour session supaya orang, the public boleh naik lah. So how the client wants to charge the public is totally up to them. Tapi kita orang basically clientele kita semua company saja. Kita orang, aku sendiri Izwan, I do operations and sales lah mainly. Started off, I baru masuk balik the company back in 2020 during COVID. So I masuk buat sales dulu and then slowly transition to marketing, and then now I'm in operations and sales.
And is what inspired you to start your business and how did you begin?
So as I said earlier, the company started in 1994. So I didn't start the business. Arwah my father yang started the business. So kita orang, because it's a family company, during COVID we were going through a tough time. But I realized I had a knack for sales and marketing before I joined back the company. I was doing for blue chip NGOs. I was tracking up sales quite a lot, and then I joined balik lah because I was thinking if I can make money for NGOs, I can make money for the company.
Okay, for the third question, Mr. Izwan, what are your future plans for innovation or business growth?
For innovations and business growth, I think it depends on which market you're really supplying to. So kita orang in Southeast Asia, there's not a lot of hot air balloons. So I think our next plan is just to make it like a staple name in someone's household lah. Macam dulu, back then we had the Putrajaya International Hot Air Balloon Festival. But that was before COVID and we had funding from the government. Now the government is a bit more tight with that. So we want to make it more of a B2C experience more than a B2B lah. So if we can get more B2B B2C clients, then that would be great lah.
Okay, for the next question, Mr. Izwan, how do you manage risk and safety while staying innovative?
I think the most important part about managing risk and safety is because it's a hot air balloon, so it's an aircraft. Kita dah memang ada SOP in place every time we want to do an operation. So contohnya, like right now, today we're doing at TRX, it's quite a small space. So we have to work around it. So kira this event at TRX is quite innovative because it's never been done, a tethered balloon ride dekat dalam in such a small space. Even in Europe, they would not want to do anything lesser than half a football field. Ni tak sampai half a football field, as you can see. It's macam tak tahu, ada 2 tennis court, maybe even one, just one tennis court. It's a bit too tight, but how we manage safety and risk is kita orang take as little as we can. So sekarang we're only operating because it's perfect weather, there's no wind, and size dia ngam-ngam untuk our tali juga buat pendek. So we manage around our products, we modify our products based on the demand of our customers lah.
Okay, Mr. Izwan, for the fifth question is, can you share an example of innovation you have made based on your customer feedback?
Alright, so innovations. So because kita orang hot air balloon company, most of our innovations are basically branding. How we do our brandings. Some customers, contoh kalau now we're doing hot air balloon tethered rides, kalau malam, it's a bit gelap. So, and a lot of their branding, let's say we have one on the balloon, one on the basket. This is all like a step-by-step process. Dia tak macam immediately we know how to do it. Dia macam at first, dia macam banner kecil je. Then we had to find a way, cari supplier to make sure kita dapat banner yang perfect size for the balloon. And then we have to find how we want to attach the balloon because it's still just cloth. So what we did recently is there was an event dekat Nilai. Kita orang dah pasang banners. The marketing way of doing it, they wanted more guerrilla marketing for the event. So what we did was along the tether lines, we're managing the risk by making sure the tether lines were new and they were more tebal than usual. Kita orang pasang banners all around the tether lines. For this event, kita orang tak buat because they didn't request it, but we can do it. So kita orang buat branding all around the tether lines. So you can see there's 4, and it's at least like for this event, it's quite short. It's around macam 30-meter line, but kalau our normal events, it's a 50-meter line. So you can imagine the branding and marketing space I have for my clients if I could use the whole line and gantung from the lines. But innovation is kind of a big word, bro, for this because mostly it's marketing and how we place the branding. But there's also ways yang macam kita orang pernah buat dengan duit now, diorang tak QR diorang on the balloon. We've done things like that before, but it's a little bit more tough to execute and we need more help lah. That from the client side lah on how it will be more doable for them lah.
Hello, Mr. Izwan.
Hi,
My
bro.
name is Muhammad Izwan. So I will continue my interview. So do you use AI, mobile apps or other technologies to increase the customer experience?
From our end, really recently AI in the form of like Canva, benda macam tu, is like you have to make use of it really. Macam benda tu, I know it seems like macam very like, yeah, you use Canva, but honestly, it really helps bila you ada customized deck, like a proposal deck for each of your clients. Most of our mobile or AI related stuff that we use is in the sales pitch lah, so in the sales deck. Because as you can tell, the hot air balloons, a lot of the things are physical. It's marketing thing where it's physical and people can see. Kalau orang tak nampak, dia cakap buat apa benda kan. But if people can see, they're like, wow. So really, it sells itself when it opens up. Tapi before that, before you get a big client, I think using AI to help word, macam especially to cater to macam kalau let's say AIA, it's an insurance company. You don't want to tap AIA, you want to tap AIA Vitality. So a lot of times aku just use AI to figure out exactly what their target market is for the Vitality side. Vitality is diorang punya macam family and wellness, which is what hot air balloons are really nice for. So you look at your products, what your strength points, and then you just ask AI to help you build the points, and then you build around it with a deck with whatever technology is out there right now. Sometimes you can even generate mock-ups easily. It saves so much time to generate mock-ups using AI daripada kau nak buat satu-satu using their logo. So yeah, I think that's where we implement lah for our company.
Okay, to the next question. How does your company incorporate innovative strategies into its marketing campaign to remain competitive in the rapidly evolving tourism industry?
Right, so marketing campaigns. So because kita orang mainly, we are an event company. We used to be an event company, but now kita buat hot air balloons. I think the big thing with hot air balloons is you have to supplement it with other things as well. So we had this thing called balloon and breakfast, which is really nice. So what we did was kita orang punya time limitation is quite bad. So hot air balloons kita boleh buat either 11 AM ke bawah, meaning before 11 AM, after 11 AM tak boleh, and then 6 PM onwards. So time tu selalu macam sejuk sikit kan, and it's always outdoors. So we want to try to go for more of the outdoor lifestyle. So we look at what other brands are doing as well, not just in Asia, also in Europe. Because in Europe in summer dia orang tutup panas kan. Kita orang kat sini, well, we don't really have summer, so we have a limitation of rain juga kat sini. So balloon and breakfast, what we did was kita orang prepare a breakfast buffet outdoor somewhere, depending on the location. We hire the jazz band, and we make it into a very exclusive experience. So that's one of our exclusive macam plan lah kalau one of our big client nak come in ke. On the other end of the spectrum, orang macam let's say kalau kita buat for a community center ke apa, what we do is kita orang just buka a balloon and we give them picnic mats. Kita bagi them picnic mats. So to remain competitive in the tourism industry, I think the number one thing are your relationships, your PR and your contacts all around lah. Because kau memang tak boleh survive. Kau memang tak boleh survive seorang je. Kau kena ada companies, because you will not get all the grants you want for, you're aiming for in the tourism sector. Tapi you might have another event organizer friend who got it, and they would say, "Hey, I want a hot air balloon." Then you have to have friends with everyone. So be friends with everyone. And sometimes your friends yang buat events ni, they have strategies for you too. I think just keeping an open mind, seeing what other people do, and just keeping your vision broader, not just in Asia but in other countries too. See what they're doing with the same products you have, because that's really how you compare. So itu je lah.
Okay, next question. Can you walk me through your company typical process for developing and implementing new company product or service?
Okay, so implementing new products and services. So what we normally do di Gas Balloons, mainly marketing thing. So kita orang biasa ada tanah besar around half a football field, and a lot of our newer products, still hot air balloon related since it's our specialty. So baru ni we ada dapat small hot air balloon macam remote control. It's really fun. It's really fun. You just fly around. There's a rope. You pull it around. Best gila. But the thing is, I don't know. The big issue when we got it was, macam mana kau nak jual benda ni? Kenapa? Why do you want to substitute the big one for something that orang satu orang tak boleh naik? Number dua, cost dia macam almost half. Macam why not I just double down and just get the big one kan? So the first thing we did was just incorporating it and giving it for free to our existing clients, not new ones. So that's a big thing because loyalty is a big thing in the event industry, in the tourism industry. If they trust you to do their job, they will call you again. So you have to make sure you build that relationship real quick. So let's say I ada client dah ada panggil I 3-4 kali tau ni. So the fourth time I want to implement a new product, I marketed the new product for free. Not just for them, for us to test it out too. How do you want to incorporate this in our normal package? We introduce it as an add-on, or we want to introduce it as its own separate thing. So we experiment with the add-on first. So kita bagi je diorang for free, let them see they like it, and then we will include it in our sales pitch juga lah. So when we start including it in our sales pitch, most of the time tak land because tak cukup pictures. There's not enough events and not a lot of people do it. But now slowly it's picking up. So that's how we implement lah. We can see for free, let people experience it first, and then if there's a demand for it, then we raise our price a bit. If there's no demand for it, we lower our prices a bit. So itu je lah. That's how you have to find a way to sell it lah kan. Lagi-lagi benda orang tak pernah nampak.
So, what marketing strategies does AKA Balloon use to attract both local and international tourists?
Alright, so kita orang again we're B2B. So I think for the question it's more relevant whether it's a local company or international company. So kalau local companies pretty much sells itself, alhamdulillah. Orang nampak macam this one is for Guardian, but the only reason Guardian contact us is because word of mouth. Word of mouth marketing is number one. No matter what people say, word of mouth is number one. So make sure your relationship with your clients is perfect, because the only reason we're getting future jobs is also because your client will recommend to their other friends. So local wise, we try to be in more hotspots than usual. So right now we're on TRX. Everyone sees it. Everyone will inquire. Out of 10 inquiries, maybe one will land. But for us, it's because ours is B2B, we have to do PR really well. So kalau kita orang buat event kat TRX ni, we see anyone person of interest, we make sure to share our cards, salam, meet, like proper introduce yourself, meet them, tell them what we can offer, maybe the new services like we previously mentioned. Maybe they just want to do a different thing where macam you can't really supply but you can try to, so you can build a new proposal deck. So that's for locals. Locals is basically word of mouth lah. You have to be there present. For international companies, we as balloonists, our number one way of marketing ourselves is by joining international festivals. So let's say we are Malaysian kan, we dulu kita buat the international festival, will invite international pilots from all over the world. So kita salah same thing like we do locally, but we invite them to the country, and then some of them they do their own festivals. So when they do their own festivals, we go there, we come, and then we try to bring the best we can to that festival to fly properly. And once we do, normally that's how we get our international clients, like international B2B clients.
Last question.
Yep.
How do the leaders at AKA Balloon inspire the team to maintain service quality and creativity?
I think number one in terms of service quality is you as a leader. Sometimes your crew, because it's heavy work tau, banyak it's agak berat, and a lot of the things where people are slacking is normally macam jaga barang semua. So but for the marketing team especially, to keep them on ground, is to always have new fun projects. When I say fun projects, it's macam, let's say the TRX, it wasn't like a money making event, so to say. We didn't want it to be, but it was new, so we just push all of the teammates to come and figure out on how we want to do on TRX lah, because this is quite a challenging marketing stunt, marketing gimmick. But alhamdulillah, we had a good client, so we did make money at the end of it lah. But I think every quarterly or so, we try to do new projects that's outside of our comfort zone. So when it's outside your comfort zone, you can naturally try to be innovative. Service quality wise, aku rasa the most important one in terms of service quality is this is hard to maintain, right? To maintain service quality, honestly, just make sure you pay your team well. Nah, because at the end of the day, people don't like to admit it, but it's always about money lah kan. Service quality wise, if it's not just money actually, kau kena jaga orang kau lah. If you take care of your crew, you openly listen to their suggestions. Because sometimes diorang yang buat kerja, sometimes diorang yang buat kerja. So bila diorang yang buat kerja, you listen to their opinions juga. Dan kau tak boleh in your own world listen to their opinions because diorang yang execute and implement it as much as you can. Let's say if it's a bad idea, acknowledge it's a bad idea, but try to implement it. Maybe he's right. So because of that, a lot of our team, our crew members, diorang suka kerja dengan kita. They will go out of their way because a lot of the job kita buat part time. So kalau diorang boleh jump on and they leave their day job, diorang minta cuti semua just to join the event because we listen to them and they feel like they're heard. And I think we compensate them quite fairly juga. So I think that's important juga lah. Just jaga your team and listen to their suggestions.
Okay, that's all for today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.